Hey, you too. I'm back. I'm pregnant. I don't really have that much of a stomach, but as it grows, I'll show it to you. But okay, so today was my first official OB appointment, and it was really bad. It was a bad experience. We are at the end of November, and this is my first time actually seeing an OB. Because in order to see an OB who is a specialist, you have to have a referral from your primary doctor. And I had a referral from the doctor, but there was some kind of problem with my card. And so they kept canceling my appointment, and then I kept having to wait for them to call me back to reschedule. And when they called me to schedule the appointment again, I think it was Monday that they called me, and of course she didn't speak English, but she was like, hi, is this such and such? I'm like, yes. They said, okay, I'm calling with your appointment information. Your appointment is on Wednesday at 11:50 in the morning. Can you make it? I said, yes, but is it possible to have it Thursday? And she said, no, we're really, really full. I said, okay. And she said, okay, I have you down for Wednesday at 11:50. I'm like, wait, where is the appointment? Because I know it's not in the same place. And she said, oh, it's at the hospital on the third floor. I said, nothing else, just the third floor? She said, yeah, you'll see it. And I said, okay. So imagine that someone tells you to go to this ginormous hospital and you have an appointment and it's on the third floor. You think, okay, is there a suite number? Is there a door? I mean, I imagine there are like a million doors on the third floor. I mean, come on, it's a huge hospital. Oh, no, no, la tercera planta. Okay. So I didn't complain. I just took a deep breath. I said, okay. So when I went, I made sure to arrive early because I knew I wouldn't know where I was going. So when I get there, I had to ride the bus. And I wasn't sure where exactly to enter the hospital at. So I just went in through the emergency room. And I was like, hi, I'm here for an appointment on the third floor. And they were like, oh, okay, just go down there. And then they say, al fondo. And I'm like, I still don't even know what that means. So I guess it means to the end. I'm not sure. So I went all the way down there and I saw an elevator. And I said, oh, okay, let me figure out how to get to the third floor. Because if I'm on the third floor, maybe I'll have more luck. The elevator only went to the second floor. So I'm like, okay. So then I keep looking. So I ended up going all the way to the end, to the other end of the hospital. And then I saw more elevators. And I got on one and it took me to the third floor. When I got on the third floor, I almost wanted to turn around and go back home. Like, there were so many people. Like, I don't even know why they do the appointments in the hospital. Why not in the office or something? Why in the hospital? But it's like, there were like a lot of chairs. Like, there on one side of the hall, you have doors, like, I guess where the offices where you go. And then on the other side, they're just seats, kind of like in a DPS office, just a bunch of seats, like a waiting area. And with the seats, there's like a screen, so you have to get a number, and you have to wait for your number to come up on the screen. And in order to get a number, you have to have a paper, an appointment paper with a barcode on it so that you can scan it. I didn't have this paper. Someone called me and told me when my appointment was. So I ended up going to a window and I'm like, hi, I'm lost. I don't really know what to do. And she's like, okay, give me your insurance card. I was like, okay. So I give it to her and she prints me out a paper. She said, here, you have to go to one of the little kiosks and scan your barcode. And it'll give you a ticket. You wait for your number and then you go to the room that it tells you to go to. I'm like, what is this? So I said, okay. So I did it and I got a number and I sat there. And I arrived there about 30 minutes early. And by the time I got my ticket, it was about 10 minutes after my actual appointment time. So I was a little late. And so then I sat there and I waited. And my number finally came up. It told me to go to room, I don't remember, 237, or maybe it was 3. I don't remember. So I went to the room and the door was open. So I walked in and they're like, no, 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 you have to wait. I'm like, but my number, I said, okay. So then there was another little small sitting area where I could sit. So I sat there and I waited for about 2 more minutes. And then the guy came out and he says, come in, come in. A guy. I wanted a female. So I get in there and there's a female there. It's a doctor. I think maybe the guy was a student. And then the other woman, I think maybe she was the nurse because she's the one who took my vitals and weighed me and stuff like that. But they were all there. And so, of course, they asked me a lot of questions, which I expected. But what I didn't expect was for them to say, okay, put all your things there on the other chair and take off all your clothes. And then I look like, where? They're like, right here. Take off your clothes. Take. In that moment, I wanted to run out. I'm like, I don't just get undressed in front of people. Like, and I think it's rude for you to tell me to just get undressed with no privacy, you know? And it wasn't like I was undressing and you know how you don't want people to feel uncomfortable so you look away? It wasn't like that. Remember my video about being black in Spain and the staring? I felt like there wasn't there they were just looking too long. It wasn't appropriate in my opinion, and I just felt really dirty. And so, then of course I had to sit on the table or whatever with my legs cocked up and open. They're like, open your legs a little more. I'm like, that's as far as I'm opening my legs. And so they stuck something, the little, the thing that they stick in and it opens when they do like a pap smear. And they were all looking like in my stuff. With my first son, when I had my son in the States, even though my doctor was my doctor, I don't think she ever saw my stuff. Because, first of all, she would let me get undressed in peace. She would leave the room and tell me she'll be back. And she would knock before she enters, just out of respect. And I had something to cover myself, There, I was out in the open. If anyone had walked into that room, they would have saw all of me. Like, I did not like that. I did. That was terrible for me. And so, and then when my doctor sticks her hand inside and, holds and touches the top of my stomach or my uterus to feel, she's making eye contact with me. She's not all under the cover, looking and dangling around, But these people, all three of them were like, I can't believe this. And then with my breast, like, oh my goodness. I felt straight up violated, and it's not anything that I was expecting. And then after they gave me an ultrasound, even when they were giving me the ultrasound, they still didn't give me anything to cover my lower half. Like, I was out, and that just really bothered me. And so then they were talking a lot. I was distracted, with the fact that I had to undress in front of three people, including a male. Then I just laid there on the table, just naked, just like a piece of meat. And then afterwards, I had to get dressed in front of them, and then we're talking like we're friends. So basically, they were telling me all the different things that I was going to have to do: draw blood, have another ultrasound, come back in 2 weeks. I don't know why. I don't know. They gave me a bunch of papers, And they're like, for these 2 appointments, you schedule them on the 3rd floor. And this appointment, you have to go downstairs to the 1st floor. Mind you, there are freaking a million windows on the 1st floor. Like, how do I know where to go? So I was going to different windows, and they kept saying, no, keep going, al fondo. Whatever that, I still don't know what that means. And eventually I got a number. I got a ticket. And there were like 20 people ahead of me. And I'm like, this is a joke. So just to schedule an appointment. Really? And so I got the number, and then I went upstairs to grab like a small sandwich because it's already lunchtime. And then I was there for so long, I was just going to miss lunch. I wasn't going to make it back to work in time to have lunch. And when I was walking downstairs, my number was on the screen, and I was walking towards the window where it told me to go, and these people just like swiped me like in front of me and took my place. So I just waited patiently. I'm not gonna be rude. I just waited. And then after they moved, I went up to the counter, and she was like, what number do you have? And I'm like, 350. And she said, what number does the screen say? I said, I don't know, but it said 350, window number 3, so I'm here. And she got out. She got like from behind the desk and came all the way around to walk me to the screen. And by that time, the screen was already in the 360s. And she was like, no, we're in 360s. We haven't got to 350 yet. You have to wait until it goes all the way through. I was like, what? She said, yeah. And at that point, I just started crying. I was like, I can't believe it. I don't believe it. So I got another number, and that one was 380. And for some reason, it was moving really fast. And I was up at a window within 5 minutes. But I don't know. Just the whole experience I didn't like it. And then when I told my Spanish friend about it, she was like, oh, that's normal. I'm like, well, for me, it's not normal. I don't feel comfortable with random people like looking at me naked and not making me feel, I don't know, good. Like when you're pregnant, you want to feel like happy, like you're already emotional, but you want to be excited about this experience. You want to feel confidence in the experience. And I don't feel like they gave me the kind of privacy and respect that I needed or hoped for or expected. I had no idea it would be like that. But then again, Spanish people compared to Texas folk, because I am from Texas, they're a little more open, maybe is the word. Like, for example, in the high school, the girls dress a little more provocative, even the women. Um, you can go to the beach and find a lot of breasts there. You'll never see my breast, ever, ever. But for them, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're just extra, extra comfortable with being naked in front of complete strangers. But I'm not. So, unfortunately, that was my experience. First time going to the doctor here in Spain. Hopefully, next week when I have the ultrasound, if they tell me to take my pants off, I'm just gonna say no. Because you're doing an ultrasound, what do you need my pants to be off for? Like, my stomach, I can unbutton my pants and lower them, but I'm not taking them off. Sorry. So, yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. And please tell me if I'm over exaggerating, because maybe I'm making a big deal out of nothing. But I really felt violated, and I felt like I didn't want to go back. And next time when I go back, it might be different people. And I don't like that either. I don't want to see a different person every time I go to the doctor. I want to see the same person because, hey, you know me. You're the person who I spoke with. You've seen me from the inside out. You're stuck with me like no one else. So, yeah, that's it. That was my first first OB appointment experience. Thumbs down.